to the FreeWord Showcase. We have prepared a couple months for these couple minutes. I know a lot of you in this crowd, so just know that this is first and foremost a shared space. It's a space of dialogue. Who here has ever been to a poetry slam before, raise your hand? Okay, that's good. If you have not, there are things you can do to express your love. You can snap. Everybody snaps. You guys can like this. Y'all can snap it up. And you really go, You can make noises. I heard all sorts of noises on these things. I've seen folks spank just. What's back up? Home's still going. Okay. You know? So we welcome you to this space. We welcome whatever reactions and emotions you have, and we encourage them. We have a great roster. We have some special things planned for y'all. We've been trying something new, some new experimental stuff, and we just want to get right into it. I'd like to thank Union Boards, Mr. Caroline right there in the audience. So I'd like to thank all the poets who are going to come to the stage and share their truth. I would like to repeat that one more time. Folks are coming to the stage to share their truth. We are putting ourselves out there. We are joining the conversation. We welcome you. So without further ado, we throw our fresh meat out there first. So we'd like to welcome our first poet to the stage, first performance, first year at Davidson College, Sabria.
Lifeless as memories that I won't lay to rest. Trying to fall asleep before midnight is a dead mission. Wise person once told me that when they close their eyes, they feel like they're being opened. Yet when I close mine, they're only a gateway to the universe that's my imagination. Houses bathing in sunlight on the best of days. Clouds coming to cast them in gray shadows on the rest. Place of no in-betweens, but choosing a side is 10 times harder than trying to create a solid middle ground to stand on. I wander around trying to find my voice, left it in a place where my body isn't. Voice flew away like a stray balloon to a place where all that's tried to bury me can't prosper. But what does it mean when I've often held that icy gray shovel? Walk by each home, none belonging to me, chip paint like scars, letting in light but never letting them see. Foundation of each place built on something different. Don't you forget where you came from, etched into the heart of it all. Windows offer me the gift of my reflection, see glimpses of the woman who I'm slowly but surely becoming, so vivid that I can almost reach out and touch her, embrace her warmth, and feel the fire within. And rekindling old flames never did me any good in the past, but I crave consistency, and it don't seem to crave me.
Hello, ooh, the second mic, y'all surprised. Our second poet for the night is Basil. Our second poet for the night is Dan.
Trying not to die. Can I get a little more noise real quick? Hey Mom, hope you're doing well. Know it's been a little bit of a while since we last talked. I know it's a little bit weird for me to write you a letter because we normally talk on the phone, but just bear with me because I've got something to tell you. And I know that you're probably getting tired of hearing this because I'm getting tired of saying it, but I met a girl. Again. Not even a girl, really, more of a woman, I guess, because no girl has ever made me feel this way before. She moves through the world like a hurricane, full of water and wind and thunder. And let me just say, there has never been a storm that I've been more excited to chase. She matches me step for step to in every dance I can think of, our feet pounding out a wild rhythm, and her hair crackling with the electricity of a tempest made for two. She smiles without pause, without hesitation, her eyes sparkling with mischief, as if she's already made the plans and the only thing that I have to do is play along. Every touch was charged with excitement, and her lips tasted like a hot summer day, the kind when you know you're getting sunburned, but you're just too happy to care. I had never met someone whose fire burned brighter than mine, but looking at her, I was a spark staring down an inferno. When you look at someone and you see nothing but sunrises, it's very hard not to chase them. And in a world full of things that move and new sights and sounds, and every second and every minute, she was one of the only things that truly stood still. She was the wind that blew, the fire that burned, lightning that crackled with 1,000 possibilities. She was the only person I ever got drunk on.
Our third foreplay of the night is Meleena. Please welcome Meleena to the stage.
Like the color of this text, Tinder was the death of me. Never questioned its purpose, but rather the addiction from swiping. Always wanted to see who in the world would want me. Blinded by hope became a swipe and guessing game, except it was mutual. So we tried to make the best of it when we matched. Tried talking, but conversation started dying. Hey, what's up? Not much. You? Bored? Okay. Snap? Insert snap and delete it 2 days later. Tried meeting up, but these plans become more inconvenient with the right now. Tried hooking up, but the feelings of lust started decaying. Sure, let's go with that. Decaying. So I ended up knowing what I want. One of those deep relationships that are so everlasting and fire burning that it kills you. But you look on Tinder and you see that 99 plus people wanted me, and I just wanted one. 99 plus people wanted to fuck the shit out of me, and I just wanted to laugh. So, some of my matches be like Tyler, there was Chad, Antonio got that good. He out there. But apparently, that's too much for a Tinder date. So maybe sex is all I ever get. But I never used Tinder for such simple reasons, so why use it now? Is this how my life had been formulated? With a few words to describe yourself, what you thought you want, some provocative photos of yourself. Like, is that what my life has come to? A description to please your little brain and not up here? Look at profile. I'm in college, clearly. Looking for someone fun. Oh yes, me falling on the floor there. That was a fun time. looking for cuddles and maybe more, if you're good enough, that is. Swipe right for more. Never expected the answer to my questions. Why are you on Tinder anyways? Is this why you like me? Just for some photos of some boobs you thought were fake? Just for a hook up and run? Just for some sweet words on how big your cock is? Even though my dildo does a way better job than you ever could. Even though I can just tell myself that I'm beautiful without you. So, why am I on this Tinder stuff knowing this? Probably threw caution out the window with this one. Just like at that party, you know when you go down there and you drinking combinations after combinations of drink, you got that vodka, that margarita, that tequila, and then you start dancing and then you saw this guy. You know, you're tall, big hands, abs maybe, but definitely drunk. Definitely drunk. Emphasis on drunk. So that if you were to kiss him, he probably won't remember how bad you are. That's pretty good. Should have kissed him. I was ready for it. But probably would have kept the bad one for me for the next day. Probably would have given me something that others couldn't or wouldn't. Validation. Maybe I should have been desperate enough. But see, that's what happens when you get drunk and you still have pride. You be thinking like, oh, I don't need to be hooking up with some random guy just because I have 5 drinks in my system. I ain't with that. Then you start claiming that Tinder's the devil and no one should use it, even though you still have that account though. That makes no sense. Could have deleted it. Shit, I could have deleted it right now. But I didn't. I don't. Instead, I just use it for when one of those feelings of wanting to feel validated comes around. Just swipe, swipe. How it works. See, there's some cute ass people in here. You should go on that. Go on that.
Thank you, Meleena. Our next poet for the night is Kathryn. Please welcome Kathryn to the stage.
Bugs hum, dying down, then rearing back up again, like clockwork nature. Birds pounce on them, flitting like hummingbirds, wings beating together. The tops of white flowers watch the sounds of every day retreating in and out of their burrows. Trees loom over them. Grass and movement as something stalks through it all, waiting now and not minding the bugs that land on it. Tails disappear into the brush, lizards or insane raccoons changing their dens in the daytime. You cannot stay here.
Our next poet is Emily. Please welcome Emily to the stage.
Can y'all hear me?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Someday I'll love Emily Trin after Ocean Bloom. Emily, you can leave behind the sewing needles, enamel pins, paring knives. Your scars are finally dissolving into your skin. And being numbed means that you can't feel the wind on a cold winter morning, your fingertips pink from writing without gloves. If everything sounds too far away, how can you listen to the way the Smith sounds, driving down Crescent City Connection, windows rolled down, and everything smelling like honey lemon cough drops? Home doesn't have to be the little brick house you've lived on all your life, counting bumps like stars on popcorn ceilings as you wait for the yelling in the kitchen to subside, or where you sit at a 6-person dining table alone, your mom locked in her bedroom and your dad 5 houses down drinking Bud Light on gritty tile floors. But it can be home, because this is where you've learned to love your mom, lying beside her on a hot July night, termites crawling over your legs and Cajun chorus frogs croaking outside the window. It's where you've learned you can hate your dad, how he smells like swordfish and tobacco, how his anger seeps into the air like this gas from your kitchen's faulty stove, just waiting for a spark to burst. But how you can love him too. Because casting lines in Lake Pontchartrain isn't the same if he's not beside you, picking sea snails, mossy green shells hitting plastic buckets. When you feel like you're drowning, touch the closest thing to you, even if it's just the inside of your elbows. Press your skin and release, watching the blood rush back into your skin, white halos displaced by red, and remember to breathe. I promise you that the flimsy plastic of glow-in-the-dark stars will lead you back to your body, but if that doesn't work, follow your mom's voice, drifting back to jungles and coastal cities. Let it lead you to wild red orchids and fermented anchovies until you can feel the salt grains that brushed against our hands as a child. Emily, here is all we ever wanted to be, and that's what we always were.
What's up, y'all? The first words you write won't be the masterpiece. They will be scattered daydreams. I explained this to a woman who wants me to do some spoken word for some event. She's nervous, using very careful language, as if tiptoeing around the conversation. She says, I need you to write a poem, Maurice. Write a poem without cussing. It makes the audience uncomfortable. Be authentic. I would never ask you otherwise. Audience needs a black enough voice, a brilliant bleach smile, stains easily, a sharp tongue scraped clean. We need ever been punched face pressed against concrete, pavement, or gravel, knuckles tear flesh. Bone splinters. Soft tissue swells 3 times its size. You see, hemoglobin carries oxygen to the blood. External pressure crushes tiny capillaries. Red blood cells ooze out into the surrounding tissue, die by inactivity, idle. Lazy minds, we eat them alive and spit them out. Bluish, black bruises, darkened skin shades deeper. Remember your first performance on stage? High school, high top afro, Morehouse sweater with the white tee, khakis, slacks pressed, Same shoes, worn soles you've been wearing for the past 8 years, weathered rubber falling off the bottom, you slip and slide playing basketball with your brothers. Cut your leg, clean to the bone. You barely notice the pain until the panic. The pain fades and leaves a dead zone, numb to touch. You stand on stage all dressed up, but no one will ever tell you've been injured. Can you tell? Ever seen a man become his own shadow? Body blows, bullet holes just vanish under spotlights.
Shelter from the cold. Never have to wonder if the glowing aura around the kindred spirit is real. Vulnerability erasing the hate. Stars lighting up the night sky. Sweetness to cancel out the sour. It moves gracefully and fluidly through the world and hugs me at the best of moments. Opens my eyes to the universe, and there isn't a thing I would change. It brings eternal laughter and youth. Its blinding light outshines the bad things. Smiles in the face of sadness. Smile wide because it's your birthright. There's no spiritual tax to pay. Butterflies are plentiful here. The greatest investment you can make is love. Thoughts pulled into constellations, absence of pain and fear. We are no longer islands away. I hum to it longingly. That song is your voice. The music to my ears, sound of birds asking you to participate in their morning, bow tied perfectly on a neatly wrapped gift, closed eyes, 1 degree of separation from the surprise. Scent of vanilla, cinnamon, sugar melting into each other, all the broken pieces finally fitting together somehow. Sweet spring air whispering to me the promises of a good future, stretching higher to the sky to wave hello. Light breeze carrying the laughter, floating in midair, made real. Hammock wrapping me up in its secure embrace, sunshine stretching to cover the expanse of my skin. A feeling of great pleasure and happiness, joy.
Peace is the steady coexistence of intentional presence and random release.
They said everything's the way that it's supposed to be. You feel peace right now? I mean, hopefully. If I got lost in my mind, you should go with me. I didn't write these words, they found the road to me. But sometimes stumbling on writer's block. You might have thought if I write a lot, the words come far more easily. It ain't true, but when they do them boys please to meet them, I'ma always greet them with a pen to a page and an open mind. I think speech the key. So I speak my mind, go peacefully, hoping I will find a little peace for me. Cause recently I've been restless, but pain in advance perspective. Peace is the place, they say it is endless. Unlike this cave later, don't trust your senses. We were very somewhere down, underground, all nights, no days. We got that wonder sound, had to break our chains. See the sun profound, but it's about to rain. So I speak from the clouds, now I can't see the future, but I saw the forecast. Chance of showers and light, tongues of those in power. They pushing down the warpath, controls game. I hope they find fun, yeah, politics don't keep the peace for all of us. Let's freestyle how to see, acknowledge it. Pray that peace strong, good, bad. The problem is, it's a piece of me. We see peace in all of us, except on TV, screen clash and combat. Defeat of evil, so peace to the broadcast, watch the cabinet, get it accurate, it's no accident. When they deceiving us, no signal, ain't receiving one notion, go reason, we need one each season, a rerun, old news, tap bill views, what's even done as a result. Man, that's all we ask, we're so peaceful, cause it's all we have, maybe Jesus. But they call us down, but I'm speechless. Got some thoughts to grasp. All the misses wisdom, the pistols roar. Chip the throne with chisels, that's just a war. You're gonna risk a war. When the Lord's name is invoked, pagans ordained and devoted to the sword. Well, shit. I thought the pen was stronger, but the floorboards red because the blade is longer, so we're more than dead. Started with our water, tell them rest in peace. I hope this virtue prospers. Well, R.I.P. implies to me that peace ain't for the breathing. And why do we decide to be at peace only when leaving? Because we leave behind a million minds, though they might just be grieving. But death is peace, I'm gonna kill this poem to see if we achieve it. A book got a spine, a poem got ripped pages. I tear open rhymes, scatter ripped pages. Used to be bars, but now they're going free. I don't know if I feel peacefully. Instead everything's the way that's supposed to be. For peace right now, I hope to be.
Long suffering, patiently enduring lasting offense or hardship. My mother. If red means love and luck and happiness, then stain my wedding reception dress with elderberries, leaving shriveled petals as gemstones. Paint my smile with Mississippi clay so it hardens into a smile that even New Orleans humidity can't crack. Stitch rosebuds to my oldest daughter's dress until the suffocating smell reminds her that her name, that Ching Hong Hung, is a pocket of dirt from my childhood streak that she must carry, not the flimsy petals of a pink rose. At my wedding reenactment, fill the tables with useless red trinkets, Solo cups and Pepsi cans, disposable chopstick wrappers, anything, until I can spit back, here is home. If I am supposed to be loved and lucky and happy, then I will bite my tongue for 21 years, letting my blood spill onto my youngest daughter, cradled in my arms until she is a garnet in sunlight. Time means nothing, my daughters, when our chests rise and fall to cicada chirps on summer nights. But it's been 23 years and y'all no longer live in a tiny brick house. When I think of home, there is no red. There is no supposed love or luck or happiness, just sea foam on sand grains.
Kindness, swirls of cream on coffee at sunrise. The weather is perfect, just cold enough to heighten your senses since last night. You do not have to talk, but you want to. You say you have never felt like this before, but you want to keep feeling it, even after you go home.
Goodness. Now, moral excellence or virtue, the best part of anything, the state or quality of being good. The last time I saw goodness, it was a beautiful gypsy woman with long black hair and an exceptional amount of gold jewelry, whose feet beat out in ancient rhythm on the weathered flagstones of an Andalusian street. Goodness looked like the flash of a gold tooth in the laugh of an old fisherman as he spoke of his grandchildren and the way that 50 years on a careless ocean had not dulled the twinkle in his eyes. It looked like the 6.5-foot tall bouncer who let me borrow his phone at 2 in the morning with a smile bigger than his biceps. Goodness is within each and every one of us, like the flame on a trick candle that just won't go out.
Faith is the ringing sound of Sunday church bells. Sitting in mass, listening to a man dressed in some toga made to look holy and pure. The high ceilings painted with angels, somehow trying to bring us closer to God. while the priest preaches for more than 2 hours about a book some mortal wrote and claimed it God's words. The congregation gathers and listens to his preach, as if believing in God implies that your faith isn't real unless you get it from a priest. Faith is a black mother bowing her head to pray at 2 a.m. that the hoodie her son got for his birthday doesn't seem too dark, too mysterious, too dangerous, too black. God forbid the police officer patrolling the street thinks his hoodie is hiding too much, because that would be enough to turn it into a one-way shootout. Enough reason for the cop to determine the time of her son's funeral, enough to add a casket to her shopping list, but not enough to get justice for the armed robbery of her child's life. Faith is the ability to hold on to something we believe exists but can't see. There's a thin line between hope and faith. Sometimes we think of hope when we really are speaking of faith. We confuse the two because as abstract and hard to hold on to as they both are, hope is more concrete. Faith is attached to the default belief of a higher being or power, someone we can't seem to be able to hear, touch, see, or smell, but are meant to believe in. That's why we wish God was more human than godly. But if he acted in our image and likeness, could we still have faith?
Mildness, lack of intensity, sensitivity, docility, warmth. In the summers, when we live grateful and weighed down with swimming pool softness, there are sometimes colored spots to the air, like candle wax desires. Every birthday prayer we made as children brought, singed into the present. Yellow, blue, pink, green, the gentle heat of them staring, restless. You are my most modest dream, our mothers tell us at the breakfast table. You are the docile thing I once conceived of in my childhood. We are virgins, so we can still go to bed with our faces washed, our feet clean to pinkness, our stomachs full of food prepared for us by our mothers. In return, all of the girls we cannot be blink at us from beyond curtained windows. They are bleary, red-faced, half-made girls who tantrumed away their toddlerhood, grew up and spit in the mirror, and named themselves women. At the breakfast table, we fold spoonfuls of oatmeal into our mouths, jealously fill ourselves full to bursting. Eventually we step back, still wanting. From the sunny yellow bowls, the silver spoons that were once a wedding present, let that be the reverse of possession. In the evenings, we sometimes gather at the edge of a public pool sheared blue. Sudden absence of clarity. Here, we finally lose virginity, old blood, our baby sister. This is a kind of birthright, a way of declaring belonging or of saying goodbye. Freshly robotic, we calibrate ourselves to the warmth of the pool, pour chlorine over our twisted limbs. Tonight we will lie back in 1,000 crystal-twinned convent beds, mirrored and empty as Puritans, or as little girls, which are the same thing.
civil and willing, and only ever waiting for something good.
Self-control, the ability to control one's desires, or the expression of them in one's behavior. The checking of one's true feelings in dealing with others. What separates us from our less civilized ancestors and other animals. The willpower to avoid vices and temptations. My body is my fortress. My mind is the highest tower. Nothing is allowed in or out unless I permit it. The air particles must don hazmat suits and gloves before they can enter my lungs, and they must pass through customs on the way out, sign contracts promising not to tell anyone what they have seen here. If you tell me that I cannot live my life this way, that eventually I will need something from someone, I will take this as an insult. I will not rise to it, however, because I am better than you, but I make a mental note to no longer say hi to your mother when I see her on the sidewalk. Then I will say no. I will not need anything from anyone ever. If I need happiness, I manufacture it. I send my face through a conveyor belt, add 2 upturned mouth corners, add anywhere from 2 to 16 teeth, depending on circumstance. Soften my eyes and wham bam. A smile that could fool anyone. But it doesn't, and here I can flower, I can pretend to be asleep, I can pretend I like you, I can pretend I don't like you. And you'll never know the difference. I eat not when I am hungry, but when it is eating time. I sleep not when I am tired, but when it is sleeping time. I wake up at the crack of dawn. I am a well-oiled machine, powered by a battery which charges on the sheer joy I feel in knowing that I live behind a moat and fire pits and a minefield from which nothing of myself can escape. You think that is unhealthy. I know you think that, because your mind is like glass to me, simple and transparent. So let me tell you how healthy I am. I live on a diet of almonds and broccoli and caffeine, to maximize my intellectual potential, to reduce the percentage of fat on my body. So far, I have reduced it by 12.1%. I read 1 scientific article per day for the enrichment of my mind, 1 novel per week. All the showers I take are cold to help my skin and my hair look better. I run 7 miles every single morning. I sleep 6 hours every single night. I weigh myself 2 to 3 times per day. I eat 2 meals in between. I have 1 goal. But what about taking breaks, you say? I have tried that. I tried chilling every Friday afternoon from 3:30 to 9:30 p.m., but I found that during that time, the hours began to look like deserts, that I could neither fill nor cross. Time slid slowly by, and I began feeling alone. Restricted material has been compromised, so I stopped that. Bad idea in the first place, to think I need breaks. Loading. I do not have friends. I consider friends to be a pointless distraction from the things that are really important. Friends only want to argue. I consider arguments to be fruitless, as I have known exactly what I want in life since I was born. I keep up with politics and current events, only to make myself smarter, better. Petty discourse is beneath me. Engaging in it would pollute. What was that? Things worth fighting for, you say. Causes, you say. Compromises and sacrifices, you say. Things worth fighting for, you say. Haven't you been listening? This whole fucking time, I'm a sacred pinnacle of neutrality. My mind and my actions are pure. There's nothing about me to criticize or find fault with because I keep all of my problems and opinions in a safe that only I have the key to. I'm in complete control 110% of the time, and if you don't believe me, well then you can suck my restricted material has been compromised. Please wait. System reboot. To answer your question, I do not get angry because I do not feel emotion. That is, I feel emotion, but I do not express it. Restricted material has been compromised. And so to the rest of the world it appears as if I do not feel emotion. See previous definition of self-control. You say I need to calm down and relax, but I am busy, I am relaxed. I am late, I am relaxed. It is late, I am relaxed. Just chill, no. System processing, no. System processing, no. System processing, no. Access denied, access denied, access denied. Too many. System loading, loading, loading. System overloaded. Reboot necessary. Reboot has failed at this time. System shutting down.
Thank you all for coming. The FreeWord Showcase is officially ended.